Okay, guys, moving swiftly on. The Court of Black Public Opinion, presenting leading argument for the defence. We call to the stage Abdi Duale. Okay, sorry. Abdi Duale.
Sorry, get your face up this way because you can.
Yes. I'll go this side.
There we go, perfect. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Abdi Duale, do you swear with the power trusted me judge to tell the truth, the whole truth, the black truth, and nothing but the truth without fear of favour, so help you, notepad. Yes. Now I leave it to you to present the leading defence argument for the Labour Party.
Thank you very much, and thank you for starting us off with, I don't know how to match that. I mean, I am somewhat nervous about this. Look, I became a member of Labour's National Executive only a year and a half ago, and I became the first black man to ever sit on Labour's National Executive Committee. So I will be the first person to talk about the inefficiencies that exist within the Labour Party when it comes to equality, when it comes to representation. I think the notion that ethnic minorities owe the Labour Party a God-given right to exist or to vote for them is a false one. I don't think the Labour Party has a God-given right to exist or a God-given right to expect ethnic minorities to vote for the Labour Party. The Labour Party, every single time, at every single election, needs to win the trust of voters everywhere. But what I want to talk about is the historic link that exists between the Labour Party and ethnic minorities and why that vote, why people vote for the Labour Party. The first point to mention is the Labour Party is really bad at winning elections, actually. The Labour Party existed for over 120 years, and in those years, only less than 30 of them, the Labour Party has been in government. So let's take that record, because that's the record that exists for the Labour Party, what we've done in government. In 1965, 1966, the Labour Party at the time introduced the Race Relations Act. In 2000, off the back of the Stephen Lawrence death, the Labour Party made an amendment to that to ensure that all public bodies have a duty to promote equality within their organisations. In 2010, the Labour Party introduced the Equality Act, a significant legislation that exists today that protects people of ethnic minority and people of different characteristics or from discrimination. Those are a couple of legislations that I've mentioned, but you take all the other achievements that the Labour Party has achieved, introducing the minimum wage, maternity leave, paternity leave, a lot of things that have benefited ethnic minorities in this country. But that's the history, and that's all well and good. You're probably going to ask me, what is the Labour Party offering me now? And that is a fair question. When the Ford report came out 2 years ago, so it was originally commissioned by Keir Starmer when he became leader of the Labour Party, and Martin Ford, Casey, came back with 165 recommendations. It's unfair and untrue to say the Labour Party has ignored them, because we've implemented 154 of those recommendations as of last week. What the report found was something that lots of anyone in the Labour Party knows, that discrimination exists within the Labour Party, that, black candidates tend to face tougher selections because of the colour of their skin. So what we did off the back of that report was to actually change the Labour Party internally, to introduce a new code of conduct. But more importantly, Afrophobia training. How many political parties in the UK can say today that they have Afrophobia training? We've commissioned Patrick Vernon and Martha Cuffey to introduce that. Well, it's true. How do you expect our political representatives to actually represent our communities if they don't understand the issues we face? You can't expect them to. So that training is really, really vital. But more importantly, there's no other political party in the country that is spending tens of thousands of pounds training black candidates. The Bernie Grant programme, which was set up by Dawn Butler in 2019, which we reintroduced this year as well, is training 30 black candidates that we've taken from different parts of the country. So take Scotland, for example. Scotland has never had an elected public official that is black from any political party in its existence. For us, that's a disgrace. But it's a disgrace for the country as well. And there are black people who exist in Scotland. So that diversity for us matters, and actually training black people in Scotland matters, but training black people right across the country as well matters. Wales is a very good example. Vaughan Gethings is a leading light of the Labour Party and running to be leader of Welsh Labour at the moment as we speak. But again, he's the only one that's existed there as well. So I'm not saying the Labour Party is perfect, and the Labour Party, You don't owe your vote to the Labour Party, but the Labour Party is a damn sight better than what we've got at the moment. And we haven't been in power for the last 14 years, in which public services have been run down to the ground. Are you stopping me?
No, you hit 4 minutes.
Okay,
That's all right.
brilliant. Public services have been run down to the ground, and it's quite hard to actually say, you know, we're going to give you a message of hope and we're going to do this. But the economy is near tanking. We saw what Liz Truss did to it last year. We've got a Conservative Party that is willing to stoke culture wars left, right and centre and to pick on the most vulnerable people in our society. And you see it in their language and in their deliberations. We have to rise above that. And we have to offer the country an alternative of hope. But we have to be realistic about what we deliver as well. And that's why, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be launching our Race Equality Act and what that's going to look like. Doreen Lawrence, Baroness Lawrence, has been working away at that since the aftermath of COVID, and that's looking at all the inequalities we know exist, but COVID highlighted even more. So in the workplace, in education, in healthcare, in every institution that exists in this country, discrimination exists as well. And we want to look into that and actually give voters the option, give voters a clear idea of what we're going to do in government, and that will be launched soon. So in the run-up to the election, we will make clear what we're going to do about the country. But the reality is we haven't been in government for 14 years, and it's going to take a lot of time to bring the country back into a decent place. Thank you.
That's both the leading prosecutor